Imagine a country where prices double almost overnight. The currency is worth almost nothing, and millions of people have nothing left to lose. In Iran right now, that is happening. And the result is the largest wave of protests the nation has seen in years. Iran's economy is in freefall, and the national currency has nearly collapsed. The Iranian rial plunged to record lows against the US dollar. Ordinary Iranians took to the streets as prices soared and savings vanished. Shopkeepers in historic bazaars closed their doors in protest against economic pain. Inflation shot upward, hitting essential food and services. Families struggled with rising grocery bills that consumed their income. Protests erupted nationwide, with chants for change and justice. Grocery shelves stood nearly empty as essentials became unaffordable. Small business owners faced mounting debts and shrinking customers. Tehran bazaars transformed into protest hubs for merchants and students. Makeshift roadblocks and banners appeared across city streets. Protesters raised megaphones demanding economic reforms. Clashes with security forces erupted, with tear gas and chaos. Iranian security forces pushed back against demonstrators. Injured protesters were rushed to help by volunteers. Vocal leaders emerged, urging nonviolent resistance. Hospitals filled with casualties from unrest. The government imposed an internet blackout to control information flow. Phones and screens throughout Iran displayed no internet. Online businesses reported massive losses due to shutdowns. The blackout cost the Iranian economy millions of dollars daily. Tehran Stock Exchange saw dramatic sell-offs amid uncertainty. Investors panicked as market confidence collapsed. Economists debated how to prevent further damage to Iran's economy. Rising food and fuel prices created widespread anger. Oil revenue shortfalls and sanctions worsened the crisis. More shops shut down, joining nationwide protests. Water and electricity outages added pressure on families. Ordinary Iranians found basic utilities unaffordable. The supreme leader's shadow loomed over protests and fear. Political elites struggled to unify a fractured leadership. International media outlets covered the growing crisis. The European Union designated Iran's Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist group. EU leaders signed new sanctions against Iranian officials. The Revolutionary Guard played a central role in quelling unrest. Families mourned those lost to violent crackdowns. Children and adults alike joined calls for justice. Curfews emptied city streets as tensions rose. Markets appeared abandoned amid economic collapse. Workers across sectors walked off jobs in protest. Banks dealt with empty accounts and a currency slide. Grocery carts with soaring tags became symbols of suffering. Teachers and students protested for a better future. Taxi drivers rallied against rising fuel costs. Elderly citizens joined protests for dignity and survival. Security forces clashed with lines of determined protesters. Communication towers were silenced during the blackout. Locked supermarket doors symbolized economic shutdown. Currency exchange booths closed under turmoil. Rial's value continued to plunge to historic lows. Workers picketed outside factories, demanding change. Global news anchors broadcast Iran's crisis internationally. Medical teams rushed to treat wounded protesters. Job losses multiplied as the economy contracted. Sanctions blocked trade routes and financial flows. Merchants threw symbolic protests at government buildings. Citizens held empty wallets, illustrating economic insufficiency. Children wept beside broken savings and piggy banks. Prices on basic food items continued rising sharply. Crowds filled Tehran's Grand Bazaar in defiance. Lines of police faced off with defiant citizens. The phrase, economic collapse, became a rallying cry. World leaders discussed the crisis's regional implications. Iranians asked how long their suffering would last. Food delivery workers protested high living costs. Global markets reacted nervously to Iran's collapse. Citizens formed waves of unity in protest chants. Peace icons appeared in hopes for a nonviolent end. A giant clock symbolized the urgency for change. Some wondered if peace and reform could ever come.